Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the No Nonsense live stream. It's Yaga. How are we today? Live stream. It's Yaga. All right, sound is working. Thank God for that. All right, today I have in the title, "The Answers Lie Within." What does that mean? I truly believe that all the answers that we seek in our life are within us. It's not in the external forces. It's not, say that job I get or the person I marry or the relationship, the car. It's not in external things that make us happy, right? All the answers are internal. How do you unlock those answers? Through the help of other people, by letting go of your own pride and ego, admitting to yourself, you don't know. And I think these answers will get unlocked by truth, honesty, and willingness. Okay. I grew up Catholic, right? Christianity, Catholic, whatever you want to call it. And I didn't like church. I didn't. I had no desire to ever be in church. Even when I was a kid, I was like, why do we have to go to church? They tell you God's everywhere, but I have to go to church. It didn't make sense to me. And it still doesn't make sense because I don't trust institutions of any kind. I find that when you start getting into institutions and symbols and things just become weird. So I grew up Catholic, right? And so I had so much contempt for church, religion, anything they were trying to teach me. I went to Bible school, CCD we called it, or RE, religious education. I was, had to do my first communion. I was confirmed in 8th grade. And I just went through the motions, because people told me, this is what you gotta do. And I was like, okay. But I never felt fulfilled or spiritual or any of that shit. I never did. It just never sunk in. But there were truths that were told to me throughout my life and based on Catholic upbringing. Basic universal truths that I don't think ever change, no matter where you come from, what religion you believe or don't believe in, philosophy, stoicism, whatever. Some of those universal truths are truth. You can't run from truth at all. You might be able to manipulate people's minds or somewhat reality, but you can't change the truth. It is what it is. And honesty helps you get to the truth, right? By being honest with yourself and with others, you start to slowly unlock these answers within you, which your life and your behaviors start to, you just start to live it, right? Like for me, I have a hard time. I can't make any major lies, And even if I make little lies, like something as simple as, like when I'm at work, I work in a restaurant and I bring somebody a drink, right? And sometimes the machine runs out of syrup, but then maybe I forgot and I say the machine ran out of syrup, but it really didn't. That little white lie, I think it's nothing, but it's something. I have to correct that. I have to at least be honest with somebody else about that if I do that stuff. And you're probably asking yourself, why? That's so dumb. You can't live in that fear of what people would think. If you just tell them, like, I'm changing the syrup on that, most people are going to be like, oh, okay, thank you. It's for your own sake. You have the choice. You have the path to walk. And no matter if you're Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, whatever, Islam, whatever you believe in, I've discovered that most of all those religions at their core have basic, universal, fundamental truths that don't change. For the most part, not everything. A lot of the other stuff, this weird doctrine and nonsense that just is dumb. And you pick what you want and don't want. But it's like I had to travel down the road of pure alcoholism and go into my own personal hell, which I chose, and then make a decision to climb out of hell and stop making the choices on that path, right? Um, Heaven or hell, I believe, isn't a place you go to. It's really here and now. You could choose to make today heaven, or you could choose to make it hell. It's really up to you. And you do that, from what I've discovered, the less you choose the easier routes, the indulgences in life, like the 7 deadly sins, right? Lust, greed, envy, sloth, uh, pride's always at the head of that one, gluttony. Those things get you into trouble, right? If you're lusting, lust is always a popular one because we want people, right? You see an attractive woman, you're like, yeah. Or vice versa. A woman sees a man, she sees a protector, lust, you know. I've lusted for women, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, totally. But in my core, I always wanted to just be selfless and have a family with somebody and grow. However that looked, Some people say that's a Christian, godly family, whatever. I think you can do it. You have to make the decisions to choose the life you want. I chose my own hell for a lot of years by doing dumb shit, by going against my inner truth, the truth that voice inside you that tells you that this isn't a good idea. Call it your conscience, call it God, call it whatever makes you feel comfortable, but it's there. It's that little feeling you get in the pit of your chest. That's just like if you're about to make a decision that you don't want to do or isn't good for you, at least you're like, this is wrong. That's you telling you, like, don't do this shit. It's trying to guide you. That's your inner instincts. And that's within you. If you're not blinded by drugs, alcohol, scrolling through social media, you could see this stuff a lot more clear. So to get to the point where you need to that would help you see that inner truth and be more towards, I guess you would say, the light or less of the darkness. If you want to create heaven, you start by being honest with yourself. What are you willing to do to get to heaven? Are you willing to let go of those indulgences? Because a lot of people, I used to think like, but we're both consensual adults. Why can't we have sex? She wants it, I want it. It's fine. There's nothing bad about that. Oh yeah, there is. One or the other people want something different than that. Okay? With women can't sleep around like men do. They just can't. They just can't. It doesn't work both ways. That's why I love men and women are a dynamic unit. We need each other. I was having a conversation with people at work yesterday. I was giving some crap about this single mom there, and I was just cracking jokes, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, man, why would you say that?" I'm like, "Where's the dad? She comes in alone all the time." I was like, "Are those both from the same father or two different dads?" How dare you? The point I'm trying to make is, yeah, we can have children with anybody. I can get anybody pregnant if I want to, but to like have a family is a choice in itself, its own journey and a lot of hard work, right? To choose to be with a person and grow together. You need the female love and caringness, but also the masculine discipline and authority, right? You can't have one without the other, because then you tip the scales and everything gets out of balance. And my allergies are fucking with me, sorry. When you tip the scales and things get out of balance, life just becomes unmanageable. You can't swing too far either way. You can't be all masculine, like I said before, in like Viking world. You can't just go around rape and kill everybody. Die. That didn't work. But you can't have it be let's have everybody be love and care about our feelings. You can't have that either. You have to know when to apply things, right? You have to know when to apply love. You have to know when to apply some boot to ass, and you have to know when to apply anything in whatever given situation. It's a case by case basis, whatever the circumstances, right? But for yourself, I believe everything's here, like all of it. God, anything like that, the universal answers are all within you, and you have to decide how to unlock them. I went down a road of hell where I just indulged and stopped caring about other people for a lot of years, and all I did was drink, fucking fuck people, and only care about me. And then if I didn't get what I wanted, I was fucking just piss moaning and complaining about it like a bitch. And then, the drinking didn't help. So once that went away, I was able to really look on the inside of myself and what I valued, those core things. And I go back to the religious things because, I hated going to church. I was borderline atheist for a long time. Definitely agnostic, which isn't a practice. Agnostic just admits, I don't know. So I still don't know. I do know that the stories and everything I heard in Catholic, my Catholic, heritage, there's lessons to be learned about your own life. But if you're listening, you can hear those lessons and see the truth. But if you're like me, when I was a kid, I was just I wasn't there. I was a million miles away and not paying attention to anything at church. Okay. It wasn't until I spent a decade drinking and then came back around and was like, oh, this is what's valuable in life, your family, people that are really close to you, helping other people. That's pretty much it. Everything else, whatever you want to do, if you want to, build railroad sets or fucking collect baseball cards, that's up to you. But I chose a very selfish road. I chose to cut throats to anybody who got in my way to get what I wanted. Like if I wanted to succeed, I was like, if I had to step over you to get it, I would have done it. Like I'll use you to get to the next level of success, whatever that really looks like. And then it never happened, and everything crashed and burned. And I'm an example of it not working out so well doing it that way. But on the flip side of that, I learned a lot of hard lessons. I learned a lot of things to do, a lot of things not to do. I learned from other people's behaviors. My experience in itself has become my guide and tool for what I do today. What I do today is I speak honestly and openly, and I don't recoil what I say just because somebody's feelings might get hurt. I throw comedy out there to the truth. It's like, for example, with that mom that comes over, like, she's so sweet. And she's got 2 kids. And all I said was like, I cracked a joke. I'm like, yeah, she's never here with a guy. Where's the dad? Or is that, 2 children from 2 different men? Oh, everybody gets all shocked. I don't see why you can't call out reality. See, that's reality. She might have had 2 kids from 2 different people. And I'm just stating a fact. People have a hard time taking responsibility for their actions. I have no problem taking responsibility for shit I've done wrong. I've done it. It's okay. And when you sit there and look at other people's, which I try not to, I'm not judging, but I can make a joke about it. It's like me collecting action figures. It's pretty retarded. I know. I call myself out on that. It's stupid. Looking out in stupid. But for me, brings me joy and happiness, so fuck what everybody else thinks. But the answers lie within, and your choices are based on which path do you want to take. And I was listening to this fella. He made a good point, which made me kind of think about talking about this on the stream, was this guy named Jocko Willenick. He's an ex-Navy SEAL. He's got a YouTube and a podcast. And he's all fucking, Navy SEAL, just a man's man, masculine, fucking, this is how we work, military kind of guy. But there's a need for that because it's a certain discipline that we can all learn from. I can learn from that. It's not me. I'm not going to be that guy doing that shit. But he admitted that, there's these universal truths. And I'm inclined to agree that no matter what you study, whether you learn it learn it from becoming a recovered addict or alcoholic, or maybe you learn it in the military, or maybe you learn it in Christianity, or maybe you learned it by studying Buddhism or becoming a Buddhist or whatever. all those same things they're all universal truths hidden within those stories and doctrines and all the dogma that's in religion. I think most religions, at their core, the message is pretty obvious, like love onto people, treat other people with respect, protect your own, be honest, follow a few basic rules, and then the rest of life, just fucking enjoy it. It's like I had to go and study and look into Zen Buddhism, and I always talk about Alan Watts, and he helped me in like about 5 years ago. I discovered him by accident, and his lectures and stuff are great. He has a fascinating outlook on life. He's known for bringing Eastern philosophy to the Western world, but it helped me better understand myself, which then helped me better understand my Catholic and Christian upbringing, which made me let go of my contempt for the church. I understand now why people go to church. They're honestly trying, in the way that they were brought up, to be better versions of themselves, and they at least go to church as an attempt to be that better version. You can learn great stuff. But for me, I have no desire to go into any church ever, because churches, again, they're run by people, and people can be corrupt, and I know my own bullshit, and I'm good. I'm good. If you want to go, wonderful, but I'm just honest with myself. I don't need it. My journey lies within, and I continue to do that, and that's why I'm making this video, to let people know, like, I believe it starts with you. People give so much credit and power to like groups and institutions and all this shit, but they forget how powerful they actually are as an individual. You are very powerful as an individual. You have to harness that energy first. Then you can make better decisions in your life. Choose the righteous path. I don't know what that looks like. I know it's honesty, admitting what I'm good at, what I'm not good at, accepting my place in the world, not thinking I'm something I'm not, thinking I'm a hippopotamus when I'm really a seal, it's like, what? That didn't make any sense, but you know what I mean. It's about just knowing, I know what I'm good at in this world. I also know what I suck at, and I continue to work on both my strengths and my weaknesses. It's like, I want to keep knowing more about like Zen Buddhism and Stoicism, and I'm fascinated with Greek. I was always fascinated with Greek mythology, things like that, and the teachings of that, because there's a lot of truth in that too. And there's truth in it because if you step back and just apply it to your own life, not the world, not like, oh, the world could use more of truth. No, how about not the world? How about you? How about you can be honest? How do you get to that? Let stuff go, detach. You don't have to engage in everything. Engage in the necessary battles, but you're only given so much energy on this earth. Some people are there as honestly just to fight with themselves. They don't know. They're gone. They're pigeons. If you're a pigeon, you're already mad. But you're not. I'm talking to hawks out there. And I made a comment on a video the other day about, it was somebody doing a thing about Dave Chappelle. If you haven't seen the Dave Chappelle Netflix special, he's calling out all kinds of shit. And everybody's like, oh my God, can you believe he did it? And I watched it. It's very funny. And he makes a lot of good points about stuff. And it's good. He attacks all kinds of people. Good. Because I think we definitely needed that. But he's not the first one to do it. And I made a comment saying he wasn't the first one to do it. I'm like, Owen Benjamin's been doing this for a few years now. And I got a couple comments. They seemed like they were bots. I don't even think they were people. Like, do not mention Owen Benjamin's name in the name of Dave Chappelle. I was like, okay. I can't say that. Like, Chappelle's on a pedestal. Let me tell you something, folks. Don't hold anybody on a pedestal, celebrity or even people in your own fucking social circle. Never. Because we're all human beings, guys. We'll fall. We fail. We fall. We're corruptible. We could be good. We could be evil. We could be all of that. And once you know that, nobody's above or below. But people are. There are people that are smarter than some, dumber than some, better at things than others, right? Know your place and accept it. And if you know your place and accept it, dumbass comments like that won't happen. How dare you mention Evan Benjamin? Okay. This person goes, Owen Benjamin was great until he lost his mind. And my comment goes, where's your mind? I've actually been watching Owen Benjamin streams for fucking a couple of years now, since he was cast out of Hollywood for calling out giving hormone blockers to transgender kids. You won't hear about that in the news because that's what they're trying to do to your kids so they can grow up, be fucked up, not produce, and in a couple generations it'll just be worker zombies and the horde at the top who want to rule the world. And so I just said, where's your mind? You have to focus on your mind, people. Everything that's going on in the world, you have no control over. Like there's, see people like, oh my God, Florida, there's a hurricane. There is, but there's nothing you could do for those people. You just have to have faith that they're going to be all right. And people have to take responsibility for your own actions. Like if you live in the Bahamas, there's probably going to be a hurricane every now and then. It's a choice, right? If I choose to drink a bottle of Jack Daniels, there's some consequences. There's consequences to all actions. And it's not even in decisions. It's not even all of it's got to be bad, but there's a ripple effect, man. The decisions you make today affect your future. And if you truly believe in long-term planning, I hate planning shit. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? It's like, oh God, I've always hated that. Well, 5 years ago, I didn't think I'd be doing live streams on the internet talking about, all kinds of shit. Addiction, philosophy, truth, honesty, relationships, sex, all that shit. No, I didn't think I'd be talking about that. Honestly, I didn't think I would. So here we are. So better choices equal better results. If your life is miserable and you're depressed or you're anxious, ask yourself, what are you doing? What can you do to change it? Not what needs to be changed for you to be okay. What can you do to change that? I don't have enough money. How can you get another job? I don't like my girl. Like we focus on problems so much. And here's a nice trick that'll help you. It's not even a trick. This is a solution to your problem. You focus on good things. Focus on what you do well and then hone in on those skills. Focus on that. Don't think like, if I just got a job at a corporate office and made X amount of dollars, I'd be okay. No, it's not going to happen. No. Focus in on what you're good at and the skills, and then it'll come to you. The money will come if you do that, honestly. Be truthful with yourself. If you're getting pressure from people in your life that are like, do this or do that, and just tell them no. I don't want to. It's my life, not yours. You don't have to get up in my skin. You don't have to pay things. You're not me. I have to deal with the thing between my ears that is driving me insane every day. Not you. I do. So you just have to be honest with people. Don't do things that you don't want to do. Do more things you do want to do. These are solutions, folks, to the things that will make your life more content. Not necessarily happy, but you will be content. It's the pursuit of happiness, the pursuit, which means it's a constant ongoing process. There is no end game to it. There's no amount of money. There's no amount of activities you can do because even it gets boring. Let's say, hypothetically, let's say that you won the lottery, right? You don't have to ever worry about money, and it was not an option. Okay, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go buy some fancy shit for a little bit, right? Maybe go on a few trips, but what are you gonna do? You're gonna do that for the next 40, 50 years? I've been to Tahiti 78 times. It's like, well, you've experienced that. What new experiences can you enter into your life? Religions, I don't know. Zen Buddhism really helped me figure out me to better understand other things and let go of some ideas and concepts that I once had. I let go of my contempt for church. I chose I don't want to go to church, but I don't sit there and go, let's burn it to the ground anymore like I used to. That's not good. That was me. That was a pride. My ego was telling me to do that. Because when you're lied to about stuff, for me, I you get jaded. You're told all this shit and you figure out you're being lied or controlled or manipulated. You get a little pissed. You get a little mad. And it makes you resentful and makes you not trust things. I question everything still to this day, but I'm not emotionally charged by it today. I use reason, logic, and a calm mind. I really do. And it allows me to navigate much more smoothly throughout this world. And I've learned patience. Good things come to you. You take some action, but you don't have to be all discouraged when it doesn't go your way. You have to accept that it's probably not going to go the way you picture it in your mind. Hell, my life has not been the way I pictured it would be from when I was a kid at all. It's been a journey, a lot of fun, a lot of hardships, a lot of misery, a lot of pain, but that's life. Life is suffering. The Buddhist simple definition of enlightenment is the end of suffering. I don't have to suffer today because I don't choose needless suffering. I don't choose to be unfaithful to my girlfriend because I just want my dick sucked for 5 seconds. You know what I mean? I don't engage in anything that's going to lead me down the path of darkness for me. And I know myself, so I know what those choices look like. You have to figure out what that is for yourself. What are the things that get you in trouble? What are the things that make your mind go insane? And then you have to be honest with yourself. What do I need to do to get out of that funk and those habits? The funk. Ugh, no, sucks. Don't wallow in despair. Despair is nonsense. I used to think it. Because I did. I used to think like, oh man, this is the end times. This is the end of the world. Look at all this crazy shit. People want to talk with 78 pronouns and transgenders and rainbows and unicorn. And then I realized, I'm like, it's not the end times. And it's just what I see. What I know is differently. Reality is reality, guys. The truth is like, oh, what am I doing in my life? And I know a lot of people live in fear. That's why the internet is like a blessing and a curse, because you see a lot of people, make dumb comments like, how dare you mention Owen Benjamin and Dave Chappelle's name? I'm like, I've noticed most people just look at the act of somebody, but they don't know these people. Like, you don't even know Dave Chappelle as a person. You think you do because you've seen his stand-up specials and you watched his show back in the day, and maybe you read some interviews and this and that. So you think, oh, I know Dave Chappelle. He's a swell guy. But you don't fucking actually know him. You didn't sit there and have individual conversations with a man when he was going through ups and downs of turmoil in his life. No, there's only a select few people who probably have, and only those people know the truth between him and those people. It's just like, you think you know the truth about Owen Benjamin. I don't know Owen personally, but I have watched his live streams where he's just talking for hours on end for a couple of years now. I got a pretty good gauge that he's an honest dude. You don't know me, I guess. I mean, maybe if you know me through these live streams, but people who actually know me know all of what I'm capable of. I'm capable of being the most generous fella you know to the most hateful fucking prick there is. If you cross me, right? Know you're a monster, but choose not to be. So I have to put my sword in its sheath and choose not to engage because I don't like fighting. I don't like conflict. But I will get into a conflict if I find it absolutely necessary, you know? If I've exhausted all the options to not be in conflict, then I will choose to engage. But I've only got so much energy, man, and I wasted a lot of energy with needless arguments and fights and just no growth arguments that I just don't do it. So I backed away. But that's what I needed to do for me because, again, be honest with yourself. Don't like the people in your life, get new ones. There's a lot more people that actually live by truth and honesty than you think out there. There are. You just got to find them. And if it's not your friends, sorry, find some new friends, meet some people, and get out there. All right. The answers, I think, are within you, and you unlock them by honesty. Try to keep an open mind and a willingness to try new things. Willingness is the key, really. What are you willing to do today is the question you should ask yourself. What am I willing to do to get a better job? What am I willing to do for my marriage? What am I willing to do for my children? What am I willing to do for myself? These are all questions you ask yourself every day. What book am I willing to read to learn more about how I can be a better Christian? And when people identify as labels, automatically they're full of shit in my mind. I'm a Christian. Like, so you're a liar. I dropped labels out of my life a long time ago because I realized that people like to hide behind a label as if it's like a free pass. Like, why don't you just say you don't know and you're trying, and we'll go from there? Because that's closer to truth and reality than it actually is, you know. And if you're truly living a Christian life, then you know to like love on people, but then it also kicks fucking people to the curb when I don't know, groups. All right. So, what are the solutions? I'm trying to focus with these streams now more on, I have a topic, but I want to talk about how to get to those solutions. So the answers are within. All the truth of the universe, I think, is in each person. I think you're given the truth. You decide how you want to unlock them. You know, it's like, what do I choose today? Do I choose getting my dick sucked by some random whore? Or do I choose a loving wife and a family? These decisions. And the longer you live, the quicker you realize that decisions either come from immediate, impulsive indulgences and then mid to long-term fulfillment. The marriage, the wife, the hard roads, that stuff, that's the fulfillment in life. The indulgent stuff is the quick, easy 5 minutes of nothing, and then which that quick, easy stuff you can have if you have a wife, you know, and you can have that with your wife. You know, create a family. It's fine. Be fruitful and multiply according to, you know, the Bible. So, and or you could take the easy roads, you know, the indulgences, the path of the easier way, which is the immediate thing. But if you're thinking mid to long term, you have to make better short term choices and then wait a little, and then they'll pay off in the long run. Trust me on this. Choose to let go. You have to let go of temptation is a big part of it. And we live in a world, fucking temptations around every corner. Every fucking woman's walking down the street in yoga pants. You know, a millimeter of fabric is separating them and their vagina. And then they're wondering, like, why are men looking at me? Don't touch me. It's like you're sending out signals, us and our instincts of wanting to protect and mate are there, like, oh, that's natural. And then on the other side, I don't know what men are doing. I think the real men, I think people that are living life that aren't bitching about life, they're doing it. And the people that are out there in the public that are bitching about it are everyone else, people that are miserable, who didn't take responsibility for their own life and their own actions and their behaviors and words, and then pay the price for it, and then are bitter. You have to avoid bitterness, folks. Bitterness will kill you. Bitterness will keep you from growing. Bitterness will keep you resentful and hating the world and yourself for the decisions that you've made. Okay? You have to relearn some stuff. Honesty. Know thyself. That's an old Stoic saying. Know thyself. It starts with you, and then you start to live it. And then if you live it, other people will see that, who want that, and they'll be attracted to that, and then they'll ask you questions. Because not everybody wants this fucking Instagram lollipop world. They don't. And I was seduced by it when I was younger. I just want to have a butt. And you know why? It's because I wanted to get so much money so where I could work for myself and then provide for my family. I wanted a goal of mine was become somehow super rich and famous one day. And I wanted to take care of my mom. I wanted to buy her a house, let her be okay, take care of all my sisters, my family, anybody who needed help. Because I wanted to just be like, I'm going to take care of everybody. It's a lovely idea. It is. It was an idea that I had, and I think that's just because my inner instincts is like, I like to protect and serve people. I honestly do. Women especially. I grew up with 2 sisters and a mom. It's natural for a man to want to protect women. Even if she's a fucking crazy ass, wild, psychotic whore, if she was in danger, most men, I think, would try to do something to protect her. Most men. Not all. Soy boys. Sorry. Everybody's experience is unique and you need to learn from everybody, right? My interpretation of the same exact thing that I witness could be vastly different than how you interpret it, right? So we need everybody. All right. My nose is getting too crazy, so I'm really tired. Work was fun. So to unlock those answers within you, selfless acts of kindness, honesty with yourself, know what your motives, your means, or opportunity are. Question all your motives. Why are you really doing something? Question your motives. Tell the truth. And don't do things step over people just for your own gain. And that's how you'll start to, you'll just know it by living it, and it'll just become a way of life. It honestly will. So don't take yourself too seriously, and thank you for allergy medicine. Have a great day.